Now we will do our last entry, which is advances to our suppliers. So advances to suppliers refer to the payments made by our company to our suppliers before the receipt of goods or services. Okay. So the advances to our supplier is a unique case while passing an opening entry because the account of a supplier should show a credit balance, but the amount is also refundable if we didn't get the goods or services. So we have to make it as a debit balance. Okay. And once the goods or service is received, we also have to reconcile the advance with the purchase invoice. To cater this issue, we just have to do an additional step to ensure that all of this goes smoothly. Okay, so let's just start adding the advances to supplier in the software. Okay, so we again have to go to journal entry, and in general entry we will click on this plus button, and in the entry type we again have to select the opening entry. We will just clear all these accounts, and in this we add creditors here, and in party it's supplier already selected, and here we will select all consultants private limited, and then we will add a debit amount this time. Okay, so our debit amount is 58,000. Now we have to click on this small arrow here, and we will click this is advance option to yes. Now it will be treated as advanced by the software. Okay, now we will again here we will select temporary opening, and here are all of the advances and opening entries are passed. Okay, here are all the opening entries have been passed. So now let's just go to our chart of accounts, and here we can see temporary opening account. Okay, so in the temporary opening account we will click on view ledger, and see it's showing a negative balance of 5,000. That means we didn't add something to the account. Okay, we have to add something to this account and make it zero, because if it's not zero it means we didn't have closed our books properly, which we can also see in our case study here that the balance sheet is not tallied, and we have to use a suspense account to make it tally. Okay, so now let's see our next case, which is when the balance sheet is matched and no discrepancies in the balance. Okay, so here we have to compare both the balance sheet, and we can see the creditors balance was wrong in the previous balance sheet. Okay, so now let's go back to the software and change the entry of the sundry creditors. Okay, now let's first again go back to the journal entry list, and here we can see new age LLP has a balance of 29,500. Here we have two ways to pass this entry. We can cancel this entry and altogether pass a new entry, or we can just go back to the journal entry list and create a new entry with again opening entry, and here we will click on this to delete, and here we will again select the creditor, and here in party type we again select new age LLP and add the balance of 5,000 more, Then we will click on make difference entry. Here we will select temporary opening and we will pass this entry. Okay. Now let's just go to chart of accounts and see whether it has affected or not. Let's just reload this. And in the assets we have temporary accounts, and here in temporary opening we can view the ledger, and now it's showing a balance of 0, which means the entries we have passed for the opening is equal and we have not entered any wrong entry in the software. So we can simply say that a 0 rupee balance in temporary opening account is an indicator that all the entries we have entered as opening are correct and all the books of accounts in the previous software or spreadsheet is properly closed. Now there is a last and yet really important step left. There are high chances that a purchase invoice or a sales invoice has already been generated against the advances we passed in the opening entry. So it becomes very important to check and confirm that either there is an outstanding balance mentioned or not in the purchase invoice or sales invoice. Okay. So first we will go to the purchase invoice list. Here we can see that all consultants private limited is showing an outstanding balance and its status is showing overdue in spite of the advances we already made to them. This may lead again a payment to all consultants without knowing the fact the advances have been already made to them. We have to correct this. So now let's go to the payment reconciliation. Payment reconciliation. Here, now we have to select the company, which is our company, ACCU360, and in the party type, we have to select supplier, and in the party, we have to select all consultants, and then we have to click on this get unreconciled entry button. Okay, so we will click on this. Now we have to allocate this invoice on this entry. Okay, so we will just click here and select this invoice number, and our 34,000 which was outstanding is now allocated to this. To reconcile we have to click on this reconcile button, and there our payment has been allocated to, like our opening payment is been allocated to the all consultants private limited. Now let's just go to the purchase invoice list and see is it showing paid or not. So as we come here, it's showing paid in the status. Okay, this is how we need to ensure all the opening entries we passed should be reconciled as soon as they enter to avoid any confusion in respect of future transactions. Okay, so now let's just go to home, and I hope you like this video, and this video is beneficial for you to understand the concept of opening entries in ACCU360 ERP. In case of any doubts, please comment under this video. We will try to clear all your doubts in time. You can also check our documentation website to get access to all the necessary documents we have created in the form of step-by-step guide. You can find the link in the description. Okay, so this is it for today's video. Thanks a lot for watching.